Hello Java students, I am going to go over this first array assignment. So here it goes, the first array assignment. We're basically going to be manipulating a 1D array. That's what this says here. The program's going to allow a user to determine how many random numbers between 1 and 100 are to be stored. In other words, the user picks a number, such as 10,000. The program would generate 10,500 random numbers between 1 and 100 and put them in an array. Um, so here's the code to do such a thing. I create two variables, low and high. I don't like single letter variables, but if they're inside of a method, it's usually not that bad. Plus L stands for low and A stands for high. I create a rand object or random object so that I can call next int from it. Now I could do this without the rand object, but nonetheless. So what I did here is I looped the entire array size times and populated with random numbers between 1 and 100. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is load the array, which I just showed you. So the next thing would be display. I'll show you that in a minute. That's a pretty simple little routine. Then I'm going to search the array to see if I could find a value. Then I'm going to sort the array, display it sorted. And then I'm going to do some statistics, high, low, and average, and then the frequency part, which would be the number of times 1 appeared, 2 appeared, 3 appeared, 4 appeared, and so on. So this method's a little weird. So load, display, search, sort, display some statistic frequencies, and quit. Don't need a design tool for it, and that's it. Let's take a look at. So here's the full program. I begin by setting up a scanner. And then within main, I call a method that I wrote that says get the array size. Not much there. Let's take a quick gander at that. Get the array size. I just say how many random would you be storing. Notice I did not do any air checking, but I should. And then I populate it into result and return it. So after I get the size, then I can create the array itself, which is what I did right here. After I create the array, since I'm populating the whole array the entire time, I don't need an E size, is load. I've already showed you that. So here I go display the array, and notice I pass the array plus a statement so that when I sort it and then display it, I can say sorted. So display the array down here is nothing more than passing the array, passing a string, and then looping array length times. The only little trick I did here is this guy right here is where I did if I mod 10 equals 0. This way it prints across 10 times because notice in my print down here I don't do a new line. So I can put 10 on a line and then do a carriage return. Let's go back up. Sorting the array. Now I saw some of your work and you guys worked way too hard. Check out how easy this is to sort the array. So down here is sort the array, and that's it. I'm done. Arrays.sort array, and it's sorted from in ascending order. Pretty simple. Let's go back up. After I sort it, I'm going to display it again. So that's this guy. Let's take a look at search the array for a value. Search the array. Can't get much easier than this either. Check it out. Here's search the array. So I display a message that this is what I'm doing. I ask what value that they would like me to search for. And then I do this one line. This returns the location of the array, the first location where that value is found. If that value is not found, this returns a negative number. So if location is less than 0, the value is not found. Otherwise, this says where it's at. Let's go back up. Display stats. Display stats. Did I call it display stats? I guess it's not in order. My bad. Here's display stats down here. So display stats begins here and ends here. I do my marquee saying this is what I'm about to do. I set a variable low and high. I set them both equal to array sub 0 because I make the assumption that first thing is high and low. I declare a float for average, and then I just set up an array, or I'm sorry, a for loop. Now, I want you to look at this for loop. This is called an enhanced for loop. You need to Google it. You need to look at Archie Ball's videos, but it's simple as data type, some variable, colon, array. What this is whatever the data type of the variable, this is the value, and this searches the entire array. So it's kind of like I gets 0, but notice when I don't need a subset. or a subscript, I just becomes the next value from the array. I'm assuming you've seen this before, and that's all I got to say about display stats. And then the last thing is the frequencies. And that was a little trickier, not a lot. Saw some of your code and it looked pretty convoluted. All I did was I created an outer loop 1 to 100 because those were the values, and then I created an inner loop using a counter, and I counted every time the value 1, then the value 2, the value 3 was found, and then using carriage returns and not carriage returns, I display the output. Check it out. So the program runs, and it asks me how many I'm going to store. So let's just say 1500. When it runs, the first thing it does, maybe 1500 is too big. Okay, beautiful. It shows the array unsorted. So notice it's 10 across, and if you do the math, there's the whole 1500. Then I sort it. Here's the sorted array, and notice it's all nice and sorted. Notice there's ones, so there's 10 ones, 11, 12 ones, 12 ones. So then I come down and I say, would you like to see if there's a value in the array? Let's say I want to see if there's an 88. I guess I should have had a pause. 88 was found at location 1288. The highest, the lowest, the average, and here's the frequencies. And remember I counted the number of ones and I said 12. There they are. Here's the result of the frequencies. About the only thing I would want to do is maybe pad that a little bit so it lined up. But there's the values and the number of times each appeared. Keeping as short as I can, that's